All right, you've set your strategy, picked your channels, planned your content, and measured your results. Now what? You know that all data should tell you which channels and content are performing well. But what does good performance actually mean? Is it when an ad gets a lot of clicks? When a tweet goes viral? What about increased website traffic? With so many different touch points and channels shaping customer brand interactions, how do you know where to start? In this video, we'll explore how businesses use reporting data to find out which of their marketing and sales efforts are the most successful. Success can mean different things depending on your particular marketing and business goals. But every digital marketer wants to know which touch points are getting customers to take action. Say you're running a campaign for a company that sells art supplies. If tons of people are clicking on an ad for a new line of paints, but only a few of them eventually make a purchase, that ad might not be so successful after all. In order to optimize a strategy, you need to know which touch points are influencing customer decisions the most. Of course, you can't know exactly what your customers are thinking. All you have to go on is what they do. But those customer behaviors can tell you a lot about where your efforts are succeeding and where they're falling short. The process of determining which content and channels are responsible for generating leads, conversions, or signups is called attribution. This isn't something you need to determine on your own. Most analytics tools include features that can use your data to find out which touch points and keywords customers interact with before taking action. You'll get some practice with these tools later in the program. By accurately attributing success to specific marketing and sales efforts, businesses can make informed decisions about where to invest their time, budget, and resources. Now, some people assume that the last touch point should get all the credit. And it makes sense, right? People often think that the touch point right before purchase must be the one that convinces a customer to take action. But that isn't always the case. You know that the average customer encounters 6 touch points on their purchase journey, and that the path isn't always straightforward. Say someone is shopping for a new computer, and they decide which model to buy after the second touch point, but then they put off actually making the purchase. Maybe they're waiting for a holiday or for the computer to go on sale. Maybe they just get distracted. It might take another touch point to remind them of the purchase they already planned to make. Both of those touch points deserve some credit, and attribution is how they get it. Businesses have some choices when it comes to attribution models. We won't go over all of them here, just a few to give you a sense of how they attribute success. Data-driven, first click, last click, and linear. Data-driven attribution measures customer engagement with marketing content across channels to understand what's motivating them to take action. It assigns credit to each touch point based on statistics, like which ads or keywords most often lead to conversions. Data-driven attribution draws on real customer behaviors to assign credit. But if you don't have enough meaningful data for this model, they have other options. Here are a few examples. First click attribution assigns all the credit to the first touch point that eventually leads to a conversion. Let's go back to our art supply store. If a customer's first interaction with the brand is a social media ad for oil paints, all the credit for their purchase would go to that ad, even if it takes a few more touch points for them to buy something. Last click attribution assigns all the credit to the last known touch point before conversion. If our art store customer makes a purchase after the 4th or 5th touch point, maybe a promotional email, last click attribution would give full credit to that email. Linear attribution assigns equal credit to each touch point along the customer journey. So for our art store customer's journey, the social ad, promotional email, and all the touch points in between share credit for the eventual conversion. Attribution isn't an exact science, but it can give you a better idea of how customers are interacting with your content and what's leading them to take action. Using models like data-driven, first click, last click, and linear attribution, businesses can put their resources in places that will maximize customer conversions. Up next, you'll learn about communicating the insights you get from your data insights to other people. Working with data isn't just about the numbers. You know that the process of data pulling, reporting, analysis, and attribution produces valuable insights that can change the course of a project or strategy. But how do you turn those insights into action? How do you persuade key people that something needs to be done? By using your data to tell a story. Without a story, data is just numbers. Those numbers can tell you what happened, but they can't tell you why it happened, why it's important, and what you can do about it. That's where data storytelling comes in. Data storytelling is the practice of conveying data insights to a specific audience using a clear and compelling narrative. Data has a lot of stories to tell, and no two people will tell exactly the same one. Everyone brings their own perspectives, experiences, and biases to data storytelling, and you'll find out about navigating some of those challenges in a bit. For now, let's think about how to create stories with data. A data story has three main components: the data itself, a compelling narrative, and clear visualizations. Together, these pieces should engage your audience by explaining what you learned and how you can use that information to take action. Let's take them one at a time. First, data. Think of your data points like the characters in a play. If they're all on stage at once, it can be hard to know where to focus your attention. So, you need to be selective about which numbers you highlight. The most important data points are your lead characters. While others could play supporting roles, and some may not need to be in the scene at all. To decide which data points are important, it's crucial to understand the questions you're trying to answer. For example, maybe you work for a toy company that's measuring the results of a new social media campaign. Your question could be as simple as asking whether this new campaign is more efficient than the last one. For that question, your main data point might be return on ad spend. But remember, you need to understand the question you want to answer to know what data to use. Being clear about your questions and the data you can use to answer them is also the first step in planning your next piece of your data story, the narrative. The narrative is like the plot of a play. It's what happens in the story. A well-structured narrative is engaging, memorable, and persuasive. Once you've picked the data points and insights that answer your questions, you can start building a narrative that conveys them effectively. In the toy company example, you'd explain how the ROAS data you've gathered compares to the previous campaign and how those results can impact your future efforts. In other words, your data story should explain not just what your insights mean, but why they matter to your audience and what they can do about them. That doesn't mean you need to have all the answers. In fact, some of the best stories create space for discussion. But appealing to your audience with a strong narrative can draw attention to your insights and encourage others to take action. You'll learn more about how to create an effective narrative in just a bit. Now that we've explored a simple narrative structure, let's get into the last element of data storytelling, visualizations. Data visualizations are graphic representations of data that convey information. Data visualizations are like the costumes, lightings, and stage set of a play. They focus attention and help the audience understand what's happening in the narrative. Visualizations can take the form of charts, graphs, infographics, or other illustrations. A well-placed visualization clarifies trends and expresses relationships between data points. Returning to the toy company example again, we could choose to represent the ROAS data as a series of numbers. But if what we want to do is compare the current campaign to the last one, it's a lot clearer to convey that relationship with a bar graph. It gets the point across quickly and clearly. You'll learn more about visualizing data and making presentations accessible to different audiences in a later course. Data storytelling is a powerful tool and one that's in high demand for digital marketing and e-commerce roles. Using data, narrative, and visualizations, we can engage audiences, communicate insights, and influence big decisions. Up next, we'll explore more about how to structure data stories.
Hi again. Remember me? My name's Erica, and I'm a people consultant at Google, known elsewhere as an HR business partner. The last time we were together, you had just started this course, and now here you are, almost at the end. Congrats on your progress so far and on taking meaningful action to advance your career. Now that you're wrapping up the first course, I wanted to let you know about some of the great career building activities and resources you'll encounter in the rest of this program. In the next course, and those that come after it, you'll have the chance to complete a number of hands-on activities based on real-world marketing and e-commerce scenarios. They'll let you put what you're learning into practice and help you discuss your skills with hiring managers in a concrete way. Be sure to save your work from these activities. They'll be useful to you as you near the end of the program and start thinking about the next stage of your digital marketing or e-commerce career. When you get to the last course in the program, we'll go in-depth on preparing for a job search. We'll cover how to find and apply for jobs that interest you. I'll also share some tips to help you prepare for the interview process so you'll know what to expect going in. You'll learn how to put together an online portfolio that will help you demonstrate your knowledge and experience. You'll also complete a scenario-based project from beginning to end that you can put in your portfolio and use to present your thought process to potential employers. Just like a customer journey, your career journey will be unique to you. But whatever path you choose, the knowledge and resources you gain from this program will give you a strong start. You've accomplished so much already, and there's so much more to come. Good luck on the next part of your journey. I'm excited to meet up with you again soon.